House of the Dragon Season 3 filming. What if I told you that while we are all sitting here desperately refreshing our feeds for House of the Dragon Season 3 news, the cast and crew are out there right now building sets, fitting costumes, and preparing to deliver the most brutal, dragon-filled season of television we have ever seen? Yeah, production is ramping up, and the hype train has officially left the station. Buckle up, because we are about to break down everything we know about Season 3 filming. And trust me, it is going to be worth the wait. Before we dive into all the juicy production details, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you are first in line when we drop the latest House of the Dragon updates, theories, and breakdowns. Alright, let us talk about where we are in the production timeline. Season 2 wrapped up and left us all emotionally destroyed with that finale. And now everyone is asking the same question. When are we getting more dragons, more betrayal, and more Targaryen family dysfunction? Well, here is the deal. House of the Dragon Season 3 has officially been greenlit, and filming is expected to kick off in early 2025. We are talking about a production schedule that puts us on track for a potential late 2025 or early 2026 release, which honestly feels like an eternity when you are starving for content. But these things take time when you are creating fantasy television on this scale. Now let us talk about what goes into actually making a show like House of the Dragon. Because this is not your average Netflix drama that films in a warehouse for 3 months and calls it a day. This is a massive, sprawling production that requires coordination across multiple countries, hundreds of crew members, cutting-edge visual effects, and enough wigs to supply a dozen drag shows. The logistics alone are insane. First up, locations. Season 1 and 2 filmed primarily in the UK, with some absolutely gorgeous locations in England, Wales, and Spain standing in for various parts of Westeros. We are talking castles, coastal cliffs, medieval towns, all the good stuff that makes you want to book a flight and pretend you are Targaryen. For Season 3, we can expect the production to return to many of these locations. But here's where it gets interesting. As the Dance of the Dragons intensifies, we are going to see more battle sequences, more dragon combat, and more large-scale destruction. That means bigger sets, more elaborate builds, and probably some locations we have not seen before. One of the most anticipated aspects of Season 3 filming is the dragon work. And when I say dragon work, I mean the absolutely bonkers amount of effort that goes into making these creatures look real. The dragons in House of the Dragon are not just CGI models slapped onto green screen footage. They are meticulously designed, animated, and integrated into live-action shots with a level of detail that is frankly ridiculous. Each dragon has its own personality, movement style, and visual signature. Vaga moves differently than Syrax. Caraxes has that weird noodle energy that makes him instantly recognizable. This is intentional, and it takes months of work. The actors also have to film their dragon riding scenes, which is way less glamorous than it sounds. Picture this. You are sitting on a mechanical rig that is basically a saddle attached to a robotic arm, surrounded by green screens, while a director yells at you to look terrified or triumphant or whatever emotion is required. You are pretending to fly through the air at high speeds while in reality you are in a studio in London probably getting motion sickness. It is not exactly the epic fantasy experience you might imagine, but the end result is pure magic. Speaking of the cast, let us talk about who is coming back for Season 3. Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke are obviously returning as Rhaenyra and Alicent, the two women at the center of this entire disaster. Their dynamic is the emotional core of the show, and Season 3 is going to push both characters to even darker places. We are also expecting Matt Smith back as Demon, because let us be honest, you cannot have House of the Dragon without the Chaos Gremlin himself causing problems and looking amazing while doing it. Fabian Frankel as Chris Cole is definitely returning, and we can expect his character to continue being the most punchable man in Westeros. Ewan Mitchell is back as Aemond, and after what he did at Storm's End, his storyline is about to get even more intense. Tom Glencarney returns as Aegon, who is dealing with the aftermath of his injuries and probably wishing he had never become king in the first place. And of course, we will see more of the younger generation of characters who are stepping into larger roles as the war escalates. But here is something fans are really excited about: new cast members. Season 3 is introducing several new characters from the source material, Fire and Blood, and casting announcements have been trickling out. Without diving into spoiler territory for those who have not read the books, let us just say that some absolute fan-favorite characters are about to make their debut, and the casting directors have their work cut out for them finding actors who can match the energy of this incredibly talented ensemble. Now let us talk about the technical side of filming, because this is where House of the Dragon really flexes. The show uses a combination of practical effects and CGI to create its world, and the balance between the two is crucial. Practical effects, real sets, physical props, all of that grounds the fantasy elements and makes everything feel tangible. When characters are walking through the halls of Dragonstone or the Red Keep, those are often real sets with real stonework and real detail. It is not all green screen. The production design team goes absolutely wild building these environments, and it shows in the final product. Then you have got the costume department, which deserves its own Emmy category honestly. The costumes in House of the Dragon are not just pretty dresses and armor. They are storytelling tools. Every character's wardrobe reflects their personality, their allegiances, their journey. Rhaenyra's costumes evolve from elegant gowns to battle-ready armor as she transforms from reluctant heir to war leader. Alicent's greens become darker and more severe as she hardens into her role. The level of thought that goes into every stitch is remarkable, and Season 3 is going to give us even more stunning looks as the stakes rise. The filming schedule for a season of House of the Dragon typically takes around 6 to 8 months, and that is just principal photography. After filming wraps, there are months of post-production where editors cut together the episodes, visual effects artists add the dragons and battle sequences, composers create the score, and sound designers build the audio landscape. The entire process from first day of filming to premiere can take well over a year, which is why we are looking at that late 2025 or early 2026 window. Here is something else to consider. Season 3 is adapting some of the most intense material from Fire and Blood. We are talking about major battles, shocking betrayals, character death that will break the internet, and dragon combat that makes everything we have seen so far look like a warm-up. The Battle of Rook's Rest already gave us a taste of what large-scale dragon warfare looks like, but what is coming in Season 3 is going to raise the bar even higher. Filming these sequences requires incredible coordination between stunt teams, visual effects crews, and the cast, and it is one of the most challenging aspects of production. The showrunners, Ryan Condal, and the rest of the creative team have also been very intentional about pacing the story across multiple seasons. They are not rushing through the Dance of the Dragons. They are taking their time to develop characters, build tension, and make sure every major moment lands with the weight it deserves. That means Season 3 is going to be deliberate, intense, and absolutely devastating in all the best ways. One more thing fans are buzzing about: the possibility of extended episodes or a longer season. Season 2 was 8 episodes, which felt a bit short for some viewers, especially with how much story there is to tell. There is hope that Season 3 might give us more episodes or longer runtimes to accommodate the increasingly complex narrative, but nothing has been officially confirmed yet. Either way, what we do know is that every episode is going to count, and the production team is not cutting corners. So where does that leave us? House of the Dragon Season 3 is in active development. Filming is on the horizon, and everything we know suggests it is going to be the most ambitious season yet. The wait is brutal, but when this thing finally hits our screens, it is going to be absolutely worth it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.